Hello and welcome to Wrestling Reads. This is the Wrestling Roundup with two of my most favorite people. We have Tanya from Tea Time with Tanya, and Johnny from Tarot's Apprentice, and they're going to sit here and listen to me and my crazy for a while, me jabberjaw about wrestling, maybe rant for a little bit, because as they know, as I just got done backstage, I'm in a ranting mood today. I feel maybe it's because it's that time of the month. I don't know. I'm cramping up a storm right now, but we still getting into it. So how's everybody doing? How's everybody's week?
So far, so good.
It's Saturday.
It's Saturday. That's true. It's a beautiful day in Ohio. The sun is shining. How is it in your respective states?
Here it's very bipolar, which I like because it's still cool, still cold. So it's like 43 degrees, I think, right now, and the sun is out. But I don't know. I like it. I like cold though. So as long as it don't snow, keep that business. All of Jesus' white powder ain't got to fall on me today, so I'm all right with that. But it's nice today though. When I had to go and congregate with the other humans today.
Well, it's a balmy 67 degrees in Las Vegas. It's usually this time of year it would already be about 90. It's 67. So, but it's beautiful. You see, I ain't got no sleeves on, so it feels good.
Sleeves. That's right, sleeveless gang. I see you. All right, well, because I wrote down, as I told Johnny too early in the week, I got my questions ready. I got a crap ton of questions because it's a crap ton of things going on in wrestling. I'm going to start off with the Giselle Shaw and Rick Steiner incident. Now, did you hear about this, Johnny?
I did indeed.
So this is why I like doing this, because Johnny is hip to the wrestling news. Tanya is our control. She's completely in the dark, so I love it. And me, I still watch wrestling, and I love the gossip. I'm all up in it. So this is why it works so well. I love it so much. Tanya, the Giselle Shaw incident, Giselle Shaw, whom I had no idea. It's a transgender female. I had no idea she was even transgender till this came out, because she is what I guess is being called unclockable. You cannot tell that. There's no indication. I had no idea. So Giselle, who works in Impact Wrestling, she was at some kind of event, I guess fan signing over WrestleMania weekend. WrestleMania, the biggest, to do in wrestling.
The Super Bowl of wrestling.
Yes, the grandest event out of the year. So there's a lot of wrestling things going on where there's signings and everything else from A to Z. So she's at a signing, and from the account, now there are a couple accounts because I just heard about Cornette's account as well, that he heard of somebody who's on the inside, where she got called out by someone who is also in the industry, who is a legend, the Steiner brothers. Rick Steiner basically said, "That's a man, it's a freak, just out in the open, just yelling at her, found out whatever." And, it was a big hullabaloo because she said she's not going to work for, who was the people that were hosting them?
I forget the name.
Yeah, it was a couple of promotions that were, hosting them. So she's like, well, if you work with him, I'm not doing it, So now,
what's her name? Say her name, because I want to look her up real quick.
Giselle Shaw from Impact Wrestling. She's a wrestler. Great gimmick. Love everything about what she got going on. I don't watch Impact as much. I need to because I keep hearing that it's good, that it's doing the best, but nobody watches it. So, it's just sad. It hurts my heart, to be honest. And I'm contributing to the problem because I don't really watch that shit either. But I'm just be
That's
honest.
a man.
You think so? I could not tell.
Oh, that's a man.
I seen
All day long, that's a man.
I had no idea. It shocked the hell out of me because Nyla Rose, I don't know if you want to look up Nyla Rose. She is another transgender woman and she looks, I could tell. We'll just say that. More than likely I could tell. But of Cornette's account that he said that he found somebody who was inside that said that Giselle and another woman was standing in front of the table, their signing table. They were blocking the signing table. And they asked him, "Hey, can you move away from the signing table, please?" And I guess they weren't moving fast enough. So that's when Scott Steiner, who is Rick Steiner's brother, turns to him and says, that's a guy, right? That's a man. So then that's when, Rick Steiner proceeded to go off and I guess unleash because in my mind, I'm thinking he's saying all bets is off now. I was being nice to you, but now I can treat you like this. Get the fuck out of here. Yada, yada, yada. Still wrong. Very wrong. You should not do that. I do not endorse that. We do not endorse that. Treat people right. But that's one of the frustrations that was building. They omitted that from the story. So what I want to ask the cards here is what account was right? What really happened? Some people said that maybe because they both worked in Impact Wrestling, so for the same wrestling organization, maybe they had some dealings before. Somebody was shocked and surprised. Is there anything to that? What's going on with it? What was the real deal going on?
Dude, I was so busy trying to look at Nyla Rose.
Did you see that?
I got her on my screen now.
Yeah, she
look a whole lot better than the other one.
Oh no.
She looked way more like a woman than the other one.
I disagree.
Nyla Rose could pass more for a woman than the other one.
I can clock her personally. And also when she talks.
The other one, she just don't. Nothing about her looks natural.
You just can tell. I was like, oh, I need to see what picture you look at because I could not tell. I was shocked. But what do you got, Johnny?
I think that because I get the page of wands.
Yeah, that's Nyla.
The first thing I hear is because I get the fool too is naivety. And so I think someone may have been innocently in the wrong place. And someone was very, very vindictive, but they had an agenda too with the Seven of Swords, Queen of Swords. Queen of Swords can be very, very harsh if something is not going their way. They can be your best friend and your greatest ally because they're a very strong-willed person. But if they are against you, then they're also going to be the worst person you ever meet. And then the Five of Pentacles, this is the thrown out in the cold thing. It's also my card for racism and bias. And so there is some bigotry here. So he has a preset notion already of what transgender and gay and all that kind of stuff mean. Okay, fine. But he meant to be rough and gruff. This was not a reaction. This was a action that he took. But I do think that maybe somebody was in the way because the Fool and the Page of Wands. The Page of Wands is a wanderer card. This is the discovery card to pick up the rock and see what's underneath person. So I think they may have been blocking his table and then he just went off. But he has that within him anyway to be that abusive. So I think that account is right. I think.
What you got, Tanya?
He was tired of the BS. He saw his opportunity to sling some sling some dirt. Exactly, just like the UFC wrestling world is supposed to be doing. He saw his opportunity and he took it. It was on purpose. It was like, okay, I'm tired of you. I'm gonna embarrass you. You won't do what I want you to do. Get out the way or whatever. And I know I probably messed up the whole question, but
Mm-mm.
he did it on purpose. He saw
Yeah.
his opportunity. He did it on purpose, but he wouldn't have done it. He wouldn't have done it if they would have acquiesced to what he had asked them to do. That's what I feel like. If they had moved out the way and just been respectful, that might not have happened that day.
Now I'm gonna add on another piece of information to this because Rick Steiner apparently has apologized. The apology was not accepted, which is, I mean, that's your prerogative. Just because somebody apologizes to you don't mean you have to accept it. But, depending on what the intention, some people might say, well, it was only a reaction because you was losing out on money, so you better apologize for that, and
Because that's
also,
WrestleMania weekend. This is where you're going to make a ton of money, and now all of a sudden you got to leave.
you got to get out. Yeah, exactly. And, apparently he ran, I don't know if it was in Alabama or one of them southern states. He ran as a Republican. So, they have certain proclivities, intolerances, I believe, when it comes to those types of things. But, I mean, from what I'm getting, yeah, it was purposeful with the Ace of Pentacles. He is trying to get the bag 1,000%. Then I have the Two of Wands, which is a planning of some kind, and then the Hanged Man. So whatever he wants to do, this is gonna follow him. That kind of is what it's saying to me. Regardless of if it was reactionary or not, there are going to be some people, some opportunities that are going to be held up because you decided to shout that's a man, you freak, regardless of, you could have went about that a lot better. I get you irritated and stuff, but golly, Jesus. Oh, Risa. Hello, Risa. How are you? Okay, so we're going to move on to
And I
the...
get it. He grew up in the era of a
Yes.
different type of wrestling.
Yes.
And there was no such thing as transgenders in wrestling. And so nowadays you can't just be popping off at the mouth with that kind of stuff. So
No. Because, like,
I don't think he would have. It's not like he felt as though he could intimidate, because I think he would have done that if it was just one of the boys too. But he wouldn't have been that hateful. Possibly, he may have just cursed and just got on with it. But you can't do that nowadays, buddy.
No, because literally everybody is like looking at you like, come on, seriously, like.
Watch your mouth, protect your pocket.
Watch your mouth. So I'm gonna move on to maybe the hottest thing in wrestling. Or you know what? I'm gonna put a pin in that because I want this to flow a little better. Since we're talking about WrestleMania weekend, Cody Rhodes, right? He lost. Everybody thought that he was being set up to win the title off of the Roman Reigns, the tribal chief that has been the dual champion for almost 3 years now, almost 1,000 days.
He's got both Raw and SmackDown championships?
Yes, he does.
Oh, Lord. I didn't know.
Which is, yeah, I know. Why
don't they just unify them and then just do one? Because they're still doing that split brand thing. Anyway, go. I'm sorry. Go.
Thank you for talking about the brand split, because that is also on the docket. Let me go ahead and add that, the brand split, because that is definitely something we can talk about if it's going to make any fucking difference. I don't know if it will, but we'll see. So, what's Cody's status in WWE? Because me being somebody that went from had 10 years of horrible WWE programming, AEW coming about, Cody being one of the people that helped build it, just smashes Triple H's throne just to say, you know what, I'm done here. You guys are childish, maybe. I don't know. Him and his wife and his little dog go over to WWE. They do this whole story, redemption story about, before Vince McMahon didn't see shit in me. I was stardust. I was a side attraction. I'll never be the person to actually hold the belt, but now I'm here and I'm going after Roman Reigns and I'm gonna do the doggone thing just for him to lose, which now people are saying was a botch because Roman is going home. So you're not going to have the champion just for Brock Lesnar, which, with the UFC merger thing, makes sense. You want Brock Lesnar on your screen as well. For Brock Lesnar to come and now have a problem with Cody for whatever reason. Story-wise, it makes no sense, which, Vince McMahon is back. So back at it again, is it true that Triple H had a vendetta this whole time? Is it true? Are they really what's the future for Cody? Are they really gonna give him that title, or are they was this just gotcha? You thought.
Vince McMahon looking like a Looney Tunes villain.
Oh man, that's another question I got for that. That's on the list.
Because everybody said, because again, sometimes when you set something up, you should deliver that thing. I get the swerve and the blah, 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 and fine. Okay. But Cody was suspected to win. Everybody said he was going to. Everybody thought he was going to, and then he didn't. But at the same time, if you built him up to go for the championship, why now is he fighting somebody who has nothing to do with anything right now? Like, that's just like a random, just pick somebody out the audience, wrestle that person for the next 3 months. Why? It doesn't mean anything. Cody can't now climb back up into the title position or the title or the number one contender position because Brock Lesnar has nothing to do with the Roman Reigns world right now. So it's almost like they just need something for him to do now.
Well, it's like you had your moment. The moment to do it was at WrestleMania. And this whole, Cody hasn't faced enough adversity. Like his whole story, him leaving and coming back, and that is all a part of the adversity in the story. The fact that he torn his pec, he still wrestled the match with his pec torn off the bone.
His whole chest was black.
It was purple. And that was the whole part of the adversity thing. Now, it would make sense if Cody won the title and Brock then challenged him to attack him, because Brock couldn't challenge for the title when Roman had it. That was the last agreement, apparently, when they fought the last time. So it looks like, to me, which is what we're going to see, that this was just a call, like, no, we're not going to do a last minute call. Like, nope, we're not going to do it. Actually, we're going to keep the belt on Roman Reigns. He's the surefire deal. And subsequently, nothing else makes sense. It doesn't make sense. So I want to know, is the vendetta, is there something behind that? Is Cody actually going to get his due or not?
Things can change. I'll say that first. However, it doesn't look like... Okay, the Knight of Cups, the reason I call it the false knight is because when I think knight, I think soldier. This person with sword and armor and all that type of stuff. The Knight of Cups just talks. He doesn't do anything. He's very pretty. This is the Prince Charming. So it's not a bad card. It's just the Prince Charming. So I think he was sold a bill of goods and didn't look deep enough into the offer. The Seven of Swords says there was an agenda behind it. There was some sneakiness because, mind you, you disrespected the hell out of HHH when you left that company. And so when you came back, I think that he was sold, here, we're going to build you up in the whole Dusty story and blah, blah, blah. And then next thing you know, there was a scheme behind it. Strength and the Four of Swords. I think someone may have to take row C. And so I think he's being pushed back out of the limelight, which is where he should be because he has the name. But two of wands, four of cups, things can change, but he's going to have to take this medicine for right now and deal with whatever it is. He may not like the offer, but it could be a blessing in disguise. Because when he came back to WWE, he was cheered. And so since you're still a babyface, at least you're still over. I mean, you may not be in the title picture, but people still like you. So you can take the good with the bad. But I think, yeah, there was a bit of a backstabbery going on.
Mm. What do you got, Tanya?
Oh my God, I got Johnny's draw. Okay, I got I got the page of cups right here, just like that. That little Cinderella, here you are. You like you said, you came back, you got the baby face, everything is coming up roses for you. I got the strength card too, right along with it. I said, I got Johnny's draw, the whole thing. I think this whole thing all of it is a publicity stunt, but I mean, I think he kind of got backstabbed, I want to say, because he was told one thing, and then when the day happened, nah, buddy, you're not gonna win today. You're gonna go ahead and take that tap today. And I think it's a setup for a long-term thing going down, and I think you're absolutely right, so that they can breed contention, so that they can make it to be something, to build it up to be a big fight. Okay, here's the golden boy. He was supposed to walk in and just walk away with the title, and he has to stand against the old guard who ain't ready to step down yet. So it to me, it's just it's a major event in the making. It's like we're going to create all this contention, all of this verruio, nastiness, and then just let him go at it. But I think there's a little bit of nervousness there too, because everybody's not sure really where they actually stand if the rug is going to get pulled out from under their feet with no notice. So exactly what Johnny said, but just some treachery is going on there too. I think there's some fear and treachery going on with the individual fighters not knowing where they're going to be at in the industry, who's going to change their mind about what. I don't know if that makes sense. That's what I got. I don't know about wrestling.
That's my whole problem. I mean, give it to him or don't give it to him. Okay, fine. But the WWE and AEW and Impact, the biggest problem all three of them have is they're not creating big stars anymore. What they keep doing is dragging out the Austins and dragging out the John Cenas and dragging out the Brock Lesnar's, these people who drew a bunch of money, who have these big giant names. They need to be cultivating new stars, because who's going to challenge Roman Reigns but Cody Rhodes? Who else has the big name like that you can use to draw a WrestleMania pay-per-view? They're not making more stars to where you can just easily say, oh, that's the next guy in line. He's going to challenge Roman. He's going to beat Roman or something like that. That's what they did to Cody, and then he didn't win it. So who's next? The Blue Meanie? Like, where are you going to
do? And it's like, what's the point? Like, we know Triple H can be petty. Mm-hmm. And we know since Vince is back, Roman Reigns is his golden boy. Like, he is my pet, the tippy top. So when you get both of them together, it's almost like, why didn't we see it before? We should have known Cody wasn't going to get it. We should have known, but we held out hope. Because like you said, John, who else is in that company that can build up, like, who
unless Vince tries to force Austin Theory, because he loves him some Austin Theory, unless he tries to force that through.
He does love Austin. That's true. But I mean, with Cody, it's like, okay, you left, you wrestled around the world, you started your own, you helped start your own company, and then you're back. So who else from inside WWE is supposed to do it? I don't know. Because I got the Page of Cups too, with just having your feelings, your emotions just out there, putting it on the line. Then you got the Knight of Swords, which is, I think this was a quick decision because that's the only thing that makes sense to me. Like at the last minute, it's like, okay, we promised all this stuff to you. You're going to get it. You're going to get it. You're going to get it. But then there you go, Johnny, the Knight of Cups. There she is right there. You're still going to get it. It's all right, Cody. You're going to get it. Don't worry. This is just a bump in the road. We have plans. We promise this is long term. The story, we're building up more of a story. Meanwhile, they ain't got shit. They don't have shit. I'm telling you.
They did say that this bloodline thing is far from done. So I guess the story still continues. That's the thing that you're trying to sell, just what you said.
You ain't selling it to me. Because I don't believe you. It's done. The time to pull the trigger was WrestleMania. They decided not to do it. It's done. It's over. Knock it off. So then that takes me to the next question here, which is big news week for wrestling. The WWE and Endeavor, which also has the UFC, has merged. Vinnie Mac has come back with the ultimate of porn stashes, straight from the 1970s, because he came back to say, I'm here to fuck you wrestling fans. You thought you were rid of me? No, this is mine. And I'm back, and I'm going to pull all types of shenaniganry because only I can sell the company. And so did. So what's the future of this new Endeavor, WWE, UFC? What's the future of that? Is it going to change WWE in any way? I doubt it, but
I mean, like him, love him, hate him, or leave him. Vince McMahon owns wrestling, and he don't just own it. Everybody that was in his way, he took them down. He almost lost to Ted Turner, but almost doesn't count. And so, go ahead, Vinny, I guess.
Yeah.
But this seems a bit. I mean, him and that trying to do the gambling thing, and then now with the UFC, and I don't know. It's just anyway. Don't influence your read, Hush. Well.
I'll go.
Yeah.
All right. Now what I got, this is they're moving on. This merger is because this is they have to make movement to stay any type of relevant. Too many people are looking at wrestling and UFC, both of them. And I mean, I don't watch television, and I know there's a UFC fight every weekend. There's like a major title fight. So I feel the merger is trying to just snatch to bring the wrestlers to the UFC, to merge the two, the entertainment of the wrestling to the brutality of the UFC, and it seems like a natural marriage. But I think what they're trying to do, number one, everything they're doing is about trying to make money, just trying to make money, because the wrestling is hemorrhaging money, and they're hemorrhaging. Yeah. And everything they're doing is just trying to save their collective bacon. So this is the magic. Let's get with Dana White. Let's see if we can turn this into something. You got just a whole bunch of people sitting around. How can we make this better? How can we stop what is inevitable? But together, I think what's going to surprise a lot of people is because the United States especially has an appetite for this. They have an appetite for this. This merger is going to prove successful for both the UFC and for wrestling. But it's going to go through some changes. It's going to be wonky. It's going to be uncomfortable. And there's going to be a lot of drama. But I think that's the whole point. It's going to be a whole lot of a different type of verbal fighting, different than what happened in regular wrestling, where you got two dudes going at it. Now you got dudes from different genres talking different big crap against each other. And I think what we were just talking about, the transgender issue, watch that be a main thing to happen in this whole thing. Watch it to where these transgendered men, women, whatever, are going to be in the ring with quote unquote traditional or cis men and women, the ultimate gloves off. UFC's going to do it. Can a woman and a man fight in the same ring? They're going to put this whole gender thing on display, make it a whole 3-ring circus. Women, men dressed up like women dressed up like men in the ring, duking it out to see who's going to prevail. That's going to be it's going to watch. That's going to, I don't watch wrestling, y'all. So
yeah,
that's going to be a thing.
Well, I do have something about
jungle type thing.
Yep. I have the energy of the merger here with the Lover's card and then the Magician. So they're definitely going to be cooking up different things. They're going to be merging the two. You already see what is his name? Conor McGregor. They talk about him going over to the wrestling side. Now bet you watch. Later on down the line, you know who's going to take it off of Roman Reigns? And you wrestling fans are going to be pissed. Watch. It's happening. Conor McGregor. Don't be surprised if Vinnie Mac and whoever they concoct something, and then that one is the one to take it off of Roman Reigns. Okay? And I'm just briefing y'all now because y'all going to be pissed. I get it. Then you got the 9 of Pentacles. So the opulence of it all, they're coming together to. How much was the money of it? Like, how many millions or billions of dollars was it in the merger? It was a lot of money. I think it's now, what was it? It was like 50 million, maybe billions. I think it's in the billions mark, but it was a huge merger type deal. So it makes sense. It makes sense. Why not integrate everything together? What you got, Johnny?
I started with personnel problems. As far as the business, because I get the 3 of Pentacles, Page of Cups, Ace of Swords. As far as the business venture goes, it's fine. Because why wouldn't it be? They're blockbuster entertainment. They own their in particular fields. You have other offshoots of like UFC type things and wrestling type things, but these are the 2 majors. These are the AT&T and Verizons of their fields. And so here, though, with the 10 of Wands, 10 of Cups, there is a personnel issue. When you have something that is bigger, like the WWE, where it's about the logo and not the personnel, you're always going to have personnel issues to where we really want to do what's best for the show, not for the people. And now that it is even bigger, I think they're going to have even more issues, people, because you don't really leave the WWE. You leave and you come back. It's one of them type of things because there's no more territories. You can't go from Mississippi to Tennessee to Alabama. You're going to go here or you're going to go there. AEW, WWE, or if you want to get lost in New Japan and Impact, you go right ahead. But there is a personnel issue, and it's around women too, especially with the Queen of Swords, the 5 of Pentacles, and the Judgment. Something repeats to where they're going to have this issue going over and over and over and over and over again. But as far as the merger goes, again, 8 of Wands and the Strength card, this is good news for a lot, especially people who invest in that type of thing. I think it's just going to be a personnel issue, but WWE has never cared before, so they probably won't next either.
Now I'm going to take this over into like a part B of this question, which is how do the respective fighters feel? So how do the wrestlers feel about it? And how do the fighters feel about this merger?
Because see, that's one thing too. Knowing how to work is different than literally punching, because that's a shoot, literally punching someone in the face trying to knock them out. You can't do that over here because
No.
this is scripted. So Ronda Rousey adjusted, I guess. I've never seen one of her matches, but
Oh,
she adjusted. Matt Riddle, I guess she didn't.
oh, oof. Ooh, if I had a collar, oof. Yikes.
So I got my draw on how the wrestlers collectively are feeling. So I'm saying for the wrestlers, they're hoping that this transfers into them making some money. So and that their names and that they actually get some recognition for some of these people who've been just busting their butts and haven't been able to get nowhere. I think that the reality is going to be is that they're going to get promised a whole lot of money, and then when it comes time to it, the UFC going to be tight. And like Johnny said, this is going to be a problem with the personnel. The people are being told there's more money, there's a bigger pond, more opportunity for people, but the reality is they already know how they're going to literally starve these wrestlers specifically out. There just a lot of pain is going to come out of this. We got two ladies here. We got the Queen of Swords and the Queen of Wands. I got the Queen of Swords upright and the Queen of Wands inverted. I think these women issues are going to translate into some wrestling matches. I know, and I'm gonna say this because this is Dana White and Mr. Wrestling, whatever his name is, I can't remember his name, who's over Vince McMahon, all of these Trumpers, and they wanting to prove a point right now. This is and I'm gonna tell you, this is gonna be some sports and some politics that are gonna get mixed up here, especially around gender issues. And I think this is where this is going to be one of the arenas where they are going to try to exploit that. And they are going to do that now because of this whole war on gender dysmorphic issues. So they're going to exploit that because I get the devil at the end. And they are going to do this specifically to get people watching, to make money. They are going to cause literally a whole lot of hate to get people to watch, to spend money, to literally jeer at transgendered people. That's what I see. I hope I'm wrong.
Yeah. What you got, Johnny?
For the wrestlers, I get 4 of Wands, 9 of Wands, 8 of Cups. There is some pressure. A lot of them may want to leave as well. The 7 of Wands and the Justice, they also may feel as though something is becoming unfair. For the fighters, I think they will love it. The King of Wands here, the Page of Cups and the Hangman, the Wheel of Fortune and the 8 of Pentacles. The first thing out of Ronda Rousey's mouth, she gets paid a lot of money to have fake fights. And if I don't have to take an actual blow to the face or the body and then I can just pretend and still make a bunch of money, why not? If they do some sort of crossover type of thing, they will love this type of thing. They benefit from both being in their own arena, being actual fighters, and then being over here with the fake fights. These people, though, may feel some sort of way. The wrestlers may feel some sort of way because I work here. I've trained here. I've been here for 5 years. You come take my shine. I don't care for that. Because now Ronda Rousey gets the main event with Triple H and Stephanie, and I don't.
Yes.
And so I think they're going to feel very salty. But the real fighters having fake fights, they'll love it because they get paid for not being hurt.
1,000%. Now, on the Ronda Rousey issue, okay? The wrestling aspect of it, yeah, she's not bad. I mean, she does arm bars and, it's fine. It's easier to transition from being an actual fighter to a wrestler in like combat only. But here's the thing that people get tripped up on about wrestling is that's not the only thing that makes you a great wrestler. Okay, And my cards kind of speak to that to some degree, because I have the Page of Pentacles for how the wrestlers like feel about it, and I getting the sense of it's a respect thing. Like they feel like they would get more respect if they're attached to UFC, real fights, real combat, immersing themselves, even though they have to, of course, really study the craft and all that. CM Punk. You can't just go in it, for a couple of years, 3 years, and go into a UFC ring and think, I know enough. No, you don't. It's not that.
You can, but you're gonna lose every fight that you have.
Everyone. You're gonna lose bad. Okay. As far as the fighters go, how they feel on the UFC to the wrestling side, I have the King of Swords. This is a strategic move. They see this as more of how they can build their personas, kind of like their clout a little bit, because like it or not, Vince McMahon has connections. He knows he can build stars when he believes in you, when he wants you to be there. You can be from 6 ways to Sunday, here, there, and everywhere, and he'll push you. You'll be out in front of that camera. So they understand the strategy of the spectacle of it. Also, they're gonna get a hard dose of reality, as far as it takes more than just hand-to-hand combat. Like I said, to be a wrestler, it's really taxing on your body. Those bumps add up. You still have to take bumps. People still get injured, all the time. Like, it's not a walk in the park. So I think that's also what I think that's also what it's saying too. Like, get your skill up, get your knowledge up on what's really going on.
Shane McMahon blew his legs out just jumping in the air. So
just like his Pepe. Just like his
That's not funny.
Oh man, when they showed that side by side, because the same thing happened to Vince. He blew both his quads out trying to get in the ring a long time ago.
Trying to get in the ring.
Yes.
So just climbing through the ropes, he blew out both his legs.
Yeah.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Please,
and then
please show me tag me on the video. I want to find this. I want to see this.
Oh, it was bad. And he was furious too. McMahon was just seething. He was furious. Everything has to go complete control freak. It has to go exactly how quads. Fuck that. Okay. Furious. And the fact that this is the man that don't like people sneezing around him, allegedly. Don't sneeze because you don't have self-control. And we actually thought he was going away too. We actually thought, and here's the thing, we were partly right too. We were partly right. They did not want him to come back, because that whole ring around the rosy for a few months, where they're just like, yeah, we don't think it's good. You shouldn't come back. Stay where you at. Take a vacation. And he was like, no, thank you. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to bring back a couple of the people that were on the board that I fired before. And I have the votes to vote myself back in. So, checkmate.
Yeah. Vince McMahon he's the roach of wrestling. He does not die easy. So you ain't just going to take him down because you feel like it. Mm-mm.
No. Speaking of, what's with Vince McMahon's new look?
Oh, mercy alive.
I want to do a funny one. What is going on with that mustache? I gotta know.
Whole face. Who face is that? He looked like he popped up and melted at the same time. What's wrong? I never known. I mean, I know he's
did he see a whole younger person?
He looks different.
I wouldn't call it younger. It's like he's trying to look like Dracula, and it ain't happening. What's going on?
That's what it looks like. Pure and simple, disgusting. Don't like it.
Yeah,
There you go. Porn stash.
There it is. Thank you, Tanya. Thank you.
Woof.
Now he is what, 70? He's like the same age as Trump, right? Like
Oh
70.
man, they're around the same age.
That's a whole
Ah,
that's a whole lot of collagen. That's a whole lot of injections. That's a whole lot of.
It's a mistake.
man.
I mean, if you like it, okay, fine, but stop.
But, you know.
There's possibly the Vince McMahon of that.
It looks like him, Johnny.
This is the Vince McMahon of yesteryear.
Oh no!
And dark hair, dark eyes. So he used to have that. In the center of the reed, though, is the tower. There's an upheaval. He does not look like that anymore. That man with the Vince McMahon walk and all, he doesn't look like that anymore. And the Six of Cups and the King of Cups. Six of Cups is nostalgia. A person who is stuck in the past. This is what he used to look like. Well, not that, but he's going for what he used to look like. He wants to go back to the dark hair and the dark eyes type thing. And then the King of Cups is the vain one. In the tarot, he's the one with the pretty shoes and the pretty this and the pretty frock and all that. So he is very, very, very vain. And he is stuck in the past. He refuses to age. He refuses to grow up in that part of his brain. So if he stays on this earth another 20 years, expect some more changes. So he doesn't like sneezing because it's part of something he can't control, and he doesn't like aging either. So
no, rich people hate aging.
Yeah,
they hate it. What you got, Ryan?
Well, I know what his fear is.
Death. Yes.
But the whole thing is he's trying to balance out where he is, where he was, to where he wants to be. Nothing's going. He's losing. He's slipping. His mojo, his what you call it is. He's waning, so everything is topical. But this stuff still is trippy to me. It's trippy to me how many needles rich folks will stick into themselves. It's trippy to me. But I mean, he's doing everything. Everything is about him being, at the top, being the pinnacle, he has got to maintain I'm this. I'm Vince McMahon. And that's it. I'm Vince McMahon. You can't, I can't age. I can't get old. I can't turn into an old man. I've got to be damn near 80 and look like I can still jump in a ring, even if it's all silicone implants.
Mm-hmm.
But I think he's afraid of death. He's afraid of more than afraid of death. He's afraid of irrelevance. He's afraid of irrelevance. He's afraid of not being somebody anymore.
Vince McMahon, the character. He said the character is dead, but no, it's not. Because if Vince McMahon walks the earth, that's all people are going to see. They're not going to see the CEO and all that. And mind you, the only dead person in the death card is the man at the top.
The skeleton on the horse.
I get it was basically a quick decision because I got the Prince of Swords, which is like the knight in this deck, and then the Ace of Pentacles, new opportunity, and then the Eight of Cups. So it's like that one that looks good. Like the
picking faces out of a catalog.
That one. But that's hilarious. Oh my God.
Vanity.
Okay, since we're still talking about VKM, let's talk about Triple H's babies and their future since VKM is back. Because if we remember, a couple years ago, Vince cut a lot of you motherfuckers. And I say this with love. He kicked a lot of y'all to the curb. And when Triple H, all the heat was on Vince, he had to lay low. He had to, retreat back into his mansion somewhere. Triple H brought, what was it, like 13 people out of the 20, something like that, back. He brought a lot of people back. Yeah. So now, since VKM said, I'm back, bitch. We're hearing rumblings that people are nervous about their positions. I mean, April has traditionally, at least since the pandemic for the last 3 years, it's cutting season. Right after WrestleMania, snip, snip, cut, cut. Now, I know they said it's supposed to be a hiring freeze, but that don't mean they're not going to cut people. So there's rumored to be a big cut coming. What's the return talent's futures? Are they going to be cut again? Is Vince going to keep them? Tony, what's his name? The other Khan that's up under Vince over there. Is he going to cut him? What's going to happen to him?
All right. Is there a layoff season coming? Are we having layoffs coming?
So that's the question. Is there going to be a bunch of layoffs?
What's going to happen to the rehired talents? The people that were cut prior, when Vince McMahon was there before, they got rehired up under Triple H when Vince McMahon is gone. So now that Vince is back, will they get cut again? What are their futures? Because we're hearing that they're a little nervous about their jobs. So, you got it, Tanya, already?
I just throw quick. Go ahead, Johnny.
Yeah.
Yes and no. The 9 of Pentacles, 10 of Pentacles. This is security for the company, doing what's best for business. That's their tagline for the past 30 years. Doing what's best for business, trying to hold on to as much money as they can. The 4 of Pentacles, because what you do not need right now is to appear to be paying more out than you're getting in. Now, they're still getting a bunch of money because they got deals in Saudi Arabia and all these different kind of places. So they get money from everywhere. I get it. But at the same time, you don't need to appear to have excess talent or whatever, especially since you don't feel as though you have any competition. And so you don't need to start shelling out big giant contracts because they ain't going nowhere. Where are they going to go? AEW, and they're going to be right back. So, but there's a lot of pressure on the wrestlers here with the Emperor, and I think we will see some exit stage lifts of at least 9 people. And these may be also talents from behind the scenes too, because I know Triple H brought some of them people back. Maybe Lord Steven Regal may need to go find him another job somewhere. So there is some cuts coming because they need to do what's best for business. But I don't think massive cuts, but a few, yes.
Okay.
Since the whole business is about making money, they're going to have to pick and choose who's going to make that money. So some people going to feel like they are being robbed. Some people are going to be walking away. Some people are going to be chewed away. And then the industry itself will be there protecting the assets that it wants to protect. And I had to say it like that because it is. I think it's going to be a slimming down, and it's going to be this is where the competition is going to come in. You're going to have to make that name for you to get to be a stay as it goes forward. If you can't hold your water, you losing too many fights, you're not performing well, you're just gonna be dissolved, absorbed. I think it's gonna be a lot more. I think it's gonna be a lot more cutthroat, a lot more competition between the fighters. But I think there's going to be There's going to be some that just flat out leave, and then people who get forced out. But I feel it's just going to be like super competitive, like just uber competitive from now on. These people are going to have to work harder than they ever worked before.
Especially with the merger. You know what happens with mergers? You have a lot of doubling of certain departments. We know a lot of suits and ties probably are going to be getting cut as well, because it's like, all right, we already have, we don't need two of this, we don't need two of that, we don't need two departments of this. So we already know that. But as far as like, Triple H's babies and stuff, I think, yes, some of them are going to be getting on the chopping block. Like it's a lot of emotions going on right now. I think it's promises also going on right now about how you'll be safe, you'll be all right, you don't need to worry about that, kind of like taming of the locker room behind the scenes. Then you got this Prince of Wands here coming in hot, and there's a fox behind that sneaky. So I think what's going to be happening, because then you got the Two of Swords, a split. So I think some people are definitely going to be getting cut. Some of the same people. Because if you really think about it, Triple H brought back some people, but what has he done with them?
Hired them. Just hired them because they were his friends and they were friendly.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's great. That's great. They have their job back, but you haven't done anything really with them. I mean, damage control. Everybody was so hot, about damage control, and then now it's like they're losing all the time, and it looked like they might be breaking up. So it's like there's rumblings, like Bailey is like, I'm out of here. There's rumblings that certain people are just like, I'm not with this. Since Vince got back, they just are not with the shit. They know what's going on. So it's like,
what are you gonna do? You're gonna go to AEW, you're gonna go to Impact, you're gonna go to New Japan, you're gonna go to PW. Like, where are you gonna go?
Yeah.
You're gonna be back here because this is the Walmart of wrestling. Everybody comes here for their needs, for their emergencies. Okay. I can't go work to Independence and make this amount of money. I need it from Vince McMahon. He'll give it to me. He'll bury me, but he'll give it to me. It's like, so what do you do?
Tony Khan isn't, people are saying that Tony Khan isn't the best booker of them all anyway. The honeymoon stage for AEW has worn off, baby. And people want blood, especially, that takes me to the next topic of it looks like you're running a sloppy shop over there, because it looks like you're going to be bringing in the same folks that might not contribute to the health of the locker room. We may see, we may not. CM Punk had this massive IG post that it went viral across the wrestling world. I think it was an accident for real. I didn't think he meant for that shit to get out, and he meant to send it to his one and only Dax, because Dax from FTR he has a podcast, and he seems to be now taking up residence as the mouthpiece of CM Punk. Now, I don't know if he's paying you or not, but it seemed like y'all, for you just to be the personal mouthpiece of CM Punk, it's getting a bit much for me. But what was that about? Was it an accident? Did he mean for that to get, because he deleted it right after. He took shots at Chris Jericho saying, he's a clown, he's a hack, stooge, whatever.
Because he's been this entire time saying nothing about no one.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, boom.
All of a sudden, that post comes out, and it's like, he calls John Moxley, said his idea was stupid. He never seen Rocky 3. Tony Khan wanted me to go out there injured, and I said, bitch, is you serious? Do you know where I just came from? Like, are you? I mean, granted, I think it was like a sprained ankle, and it seems like you blow on him and the man just deteriorates. Like
I
I
mean,
don't.
didn't he do damage to his ankle jumping in the crowd or something stupid though?
Yes, it's like, is it worth it at this point? I don't know. I don't know,
I
but
mean,
part of it is, remaining healthy. And it just seems like, especially after the media scrum where he said, I'm old, I'm tired, and I'm done with this shit. So
did he mean it?
what was that post about? Was it on purpose? Was it an accident?
Okay.
What the hell is going on?
I had 2 cars that pop out already. I'm gonna keep both of them too. Chick Magnet Punk.
That's right.
That's still okay. I'm sorry. Chick Magnet, boy, please. You mean chickens or you mean women?
Punk at the end of that. That don't make sense because that goes against what Chick Magnet means.
I guess maybe because he's tattooed and
he's punk. He has a punk aesthetic.
That type of punk, I guess.
Punk rock.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. All right.
I mean, take it however you want to. It's still false. So. But I get the Ace of Cups and the sun flew out. I was asking, did he mean it? Yes. Now, mind you, the Ace of Cups, because I got the Page of Swords here too. The Page of Swords is the child with behavioral issues that may just pop off at the mouth. Now, the reason they have that is because they have usually sometimes an intelligence that's too high for where they are. And so there's a lot of things that go on in that person's mind. They don't know how to dilute or delete. And so it just flies out. And so I think he was being a little over emotional and somebody may have reacted instead of acted. And so he was doing some overshare with the 6 of Pentacles. That's giving out something, time, money, information. And his ego has also been bruised the past few days too, because they've been calling him the cancer of the locker room and all, and like he's begging Tony Khan to come back to AEW and all that. So I think he was in trying to stand up for himself, but again, not dilute, not delete, if he just start popping off at the mouth. So he meant it, but he shouldn't have put it out there though.
I mean, blame his partner Dax for coming out there on his podcast every week or every other week talking about Chick Magnet Phil and how he just wants to come back to. He just wants. We love him. He just wants to be back. He just wants to be.
And why? Tony Khan is still paying him, mind you, and he ain't been on TV or wrestled in 18 years. So you're still paying me to do nothing? Then okay. I'll sit here and do nothing then. It's like, what do I need to come back here for people that I don't like? So anyway, that's what I did.
What you got, Tanya? Got something good.
I'm sorry. I got a yes.
Yes.
He meant what he said. I got lost. I don't know where I was.
He phased out.
I don't know where I was. I was there though. I was all the way there. Just smiling, just
coasting.
Hey, I'll let y'all know after the show. But yeah, he was serious. That's all I'm gonna be able to tell you.
Okay.
But I everything, it goes back. CM Punk, because I'm sitting up. That's why I got lost, because I'm trying to, since I don't watch wrestling. I'm trying to put a face to all of these people. And this is Brock Lesnar and Gunter.
Yes, Gunther.
But it's like, since I don't know who any of these people are, it's like I'm kind of getting lost in their images over here.
Yeah.
But, it's interesting to me because it's just the feelings that I'm getting. So for CM Punk, all of the stuff that he was serious about what he's doing, everything that they're doing, is the script, but I got walking away too. So there's some fear. There's some stuff that's going on. People with this merger, and I must say all of this because I think all of this all goes into that. All these big old names all go into it. Is there's going to be a change. There's going to be a huge change. And all of these people who have had a certain level of success are now going to be, and these are old folks. These people are old. They are not UFC wrestling age. So it's like they're going to have like the senior citizen uh, aspect of UFC when they bring the wrestlers in who are in their late 40s and 50s and come on, oh my God, you know. So I see some problems. I see he's doing what he's doing, but there's going to be some issues with all of this, only because of the age and the physicality, and because they're trying to go Hollywood with this. And I don't think some of these people are going to be able to make that leap into the UFC coming from the wrestling. Yeah, it's a lot of script, but those UFC guys are actually fighting. If they ain't gonna pull punches, that's not what they're there for. Their entertainment is making somebody bloody. I mean, UFC is a blood sport. Wrestling is not. It's like you got the high flying, you got the throws, the kicks.
Well, in AEW it is. You don't ask John Moxley that. He bleeds every damn match.
I mean, but are the matches themselves bloody?
Yes, he is. Because he's an idiot, but that's a whole different that's a whole different story.
They do it to themselves, you know.
He doesn't have to be that way, but he's not right.
He likes that type of wrestling. He likes because you have the hardcore wrestling, which is to maim. So, yeah. You know,
he gets himself
I might have to, you might have to send me some links so I can.
I'm telling you, I'm gonna have to send you some.
So I can.
A person who gets in the ring with barbed wire and thumbtacks and like why?
And folding metal chairs.
I stick myself with a stick pin and it hurt. You do it on purpose?
Can I ask a question, since I am so naive to this?
Yeah.
On those big cage matches, like you're talking about with the thumbtacks and the craziness, the barbed wire, how much are these wrestlers pulling down a match afterwards? Because UFC guys are pulling up, they could pull down $1 million. So how much are these UFC guys the wrestling guys pulling down for these dangerous ass stunts?
John Moxley, he's getting 6 figures, probably 7, don't you think? Since he's like the top guy in the thing. But at the same time, not a lot, because people who do hardcore wrestling do it because they like it, not because they're being paid a lot to do it.
Yes.
And that part I don't understand. Why do you want to jump off of shit and then through light tubes and for what? How much? You don't get paid tens of thousands of dollars to do that.
Well, then
I will never understand.
Bills.
It's for the love.
Yeah, because they love the
love. That's it. They like it's an adrenaline rush for a lot of them. They feel like it makes the match feel more real, like it's higher stakes.
Meanwhile, you walk around, your whole body look like a voodoo doll. You got stitch over here and a stitch over there and a stitch over there.
It's taxing on the body just being a regular wrestler.
A regular wrestler. You can get Jamie Man blew both his legs jumping in the air. You don't need to do extra stuff to yourself.
The bumps add up over the years. They really do. And J-Rock, yes, I also love a well-timed chair shot. Real good.
I'm looking at this dude here who just jumped off the top of this cage.
He made a lot of money.
That's
I don't know if he made a lot of money there.
Yeah, that's Mankind.
Mankind?
Yeah. He had a lot of gimmicks. I wish that's why Mick Foley is so unique and he's held in wrestling, because he didn't just do one gimmick. He did like three or four. What was it, Johnny? It was Cactus Jack.
Dude loved Cactus Jack and Mankind. Cactus Jack was the crazy one with the barbed wire board, had barbed wire wrapped around it. Mankind was the crazy one who pulled his hair out, and then Dude Love was like the 70s hippie marijuana smoker type of thing.
Yeah.
But I mean, him himself, the person behind all that, is the nicest guy in the world. So that's why
McFoley,
everybody
yeah.
loves him. But he did all the stupid stuff too. And now eventually he made the big money. But that's kind of how they got noticed, is because they were willing to be a car crash in the middle of the ring, that type of thing.
That damn sock. Yes, the Rock and Sock connection. He teamed up with the Rock.
Who made that famous too?
The Rock Johnson. Yes, they were in a tag team called the Rock and Sock Connection. Wrestling's so stupid. That's why we love it. So dumb. But what I got as far as like with CM Punk and the IG post thing was the first thing I got, the Nine of Swords. He's worried, man. So this tells me that this was not intentional. It was an accident. He wasn't trying to, I mean, how he felt. Yeah, he felt all that shit. Yeah, for sure. But he didn't mean for it to get out. Like, he probably was sending it to somebody, you know, getting his shit off, you know, venting or whatever, how he's feeling. And it just blew up. So he's worried about how people are going to perceive this as far as him getting back in AEW. I mean, they said it's confirmed. He's coming back. So much so that
you better bring him back.
So much so that there's going to be maybe a brand split now in AEW to try to keep the love of, I mean, if anything, I welcome a brand split, even though Tony, I mean, his booking to me isn't the best in general. Now we're going to try to manage on two different brands. But you got a lot of people. So maybe a brand split would be a way to consistently get people on TV. Because the problem is you have somebody on TV for 1 week. They build momentum, the people like them, and then they're off TV for 6 weeks at a time. And then by the time they come back, nobody gives a shit anymore. Nobody cares. Like, that was 6 weeks ago. Who are you? What happened? Wrestling is really a what have you done for me lately type of deal. Like, you need to keep feeding us. You need to keep us tuned in week to week. If you're gone.
He said that too. It's hard to get everybody on TV. But then it means you have too many employees, sir.
You got too many people. Then you got the judgment card. So we got the judgment card right next to that. Scared of how people are going to perceive him. And then the Princess of Wands here. So he's feeling like he could turn shit into sugar. Like that. Now we're getting I'll come back with the elite. I'll work with them. I'll work with anybody I need to. I'm here. There's storylines that can be had with this. We can put all this behind us. Meanwhile, the elite was like, bullshit.
Because he did the curse of social media. I'm angry, send. And then it's like, oh, take that back. I didn't mean that. Yes, you did. But you shouldn't have. It's too easy to put that stuff out there. And then if you're famous, they capture it immediately, no matter when you delete it. And so somebody got it still.
Hey! Oh, she's so cute. Puppy time. We need a little puppy break.
Get up and just dance.
But that's the thing too. You can't challenge like the whole locker room to say, yeah, I said this, and whoever got a problem with me, meet me in the back and think like, oh, we can work. Everything is. I mean, I know wrestling. That's a staple of wrestling. People used to do that all the time. People have beefs and work together just fine. Allegedly, Charlotte and Becky had beef and they wrestled just fine. Like, it happens all the time where wrestlers don't like each other and they still do their jobs. But this is very specific to where you throwing shots at the whole entirety of the locker room. We might have a bit of a problem. I don't know how that's going to work. I don't know. With him coming back, is it going to work? I guess that should be the next question. Since allegedly there's a return date set, are we going to be doing this cycle again to where it's honky-dory for another few months? Everybody's fine. and then later on down the line, CM Punk is going to be sick of the shit and, go off, and then we're going to have a whole nother debacle, and the cycle repeats itself. Or is it really going to work?
Let's see. Is it going to work? No. I may be in influencing, so hashtag grain of salt. What changed? He left, he came back, but what changed? Same people are still there. You still don't like them. They still don't like you. What changed? The Page of Pentacles may be his contract. This is paper or news or the contract. So this could be his contract of some sort. He may just be waiting for it to be out, as like Tony Khan, because Tony Khan is paying him tons of money to do nothing. And so you need to be back in here, even if I sit you in a chair in the middle of the ring every 2 days. You still need to be doing something for my money that I'm paying you. And Tony Khan is a little too loose with his money. That's a whole nother conversation, though. But the Seven of Wands and the Hierophant, the person who is very traditional, who may be stuck in their traditional ways, their conformity, will still be defending. And so the Rocker Room, I think, will still be against him. At least those at the top will still be against him because he is a conformist. Remember, AEW was the league of adaptation. We must change and adapt. We must change and adapt. That's not what the Hierophant does. The Hierophant is the Pope. This is one thing that has been this way since the beginning of time type thing. Then there's the Star, futuristic card, and then Eight of Cups, walking away, abandoning a current project. So I think eventually he will go away once his star has faded or the contract is over. But this is going to be the same because what changed?
I think same thing. He's gonna go away. I think eventually he's gonna leave.
Damn. The first thing I got was the Two of Swords. So they really are stuck between a rock and a hard place on this situation. They definitely are weighing their options. Ace of Cups, a lot of emotions that are behind this from a lot of different people. And then the Three of Cups, surprisingly, at the end. So I get a little bit more of a positive spin ending on this. However, when I do look up underneath the deck, I get the Chariot. So you're Tony Khan is rushing back into this. So like to what Johnny's point is, you didn't really fix anything. Yeah, you didn't really fix anything. You just kind of, based off of how people feel or, I really want to get back in there, get back in the game. Because then the Tower card is right behind it. So they might be rushing into a brick wall in the long term. But as far as like instant gratification, because we are in a society of instant gratification, get back out there, you better make some of this money back, which I don't know. I mean, it's debated whether or not he's living up to what the hype is anyway. There's the debate is still out on
like CM Punk, then you think AEW needs CM Punk. If you are against him, of course you'll always be against him. If you're me and I don't care either way, your ratings got to 1 million when he was there. They've never really reached that since he's been gone, but it did not surpass that while he was there. You still ain't beaten WWE with CM Punk, not to mention he is not the only reason people. It's not like they fell from 1 million to 200,000 because he was gone. They're still there. They're still above water. They still make money. They still sell out pay-per-views. So, do we need you? I mean, okay, sure.
Is you worth it? Because I mean, in the ring, I don't think so. I don't think his body is up to snuff for it. I mean, the good thing about wrestling is there are a lot of other roles. If you're creative, there are a lot of other roles that he could be put in. But that's up to Tony Khan. So going to have to see. Stay tuned for that.
Vince McMahon did apologize to CM Punk too.
That's Mick Foley.
That's the bleeder?
No, that's Mick Foley.
Okay.
The other guy's name is John Moxley.
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, I would be shocked if you typed in John Moxley and the first image wasn't him, just his whole face just covered in blood. I'd be shocked.
Do we know what he was in rehab for?
Drinking.
Okay.
Yeah, he had a drinking problem. Alcohol. So, left for a while, got that together. Speaking of John Moxley and all that, and CM Punk in his IG, John Moxley said on Renee, which is his wife, on Oral Sessions. It's called The Sessions now. I'm still going to call it Oral Sessions because that's a better name, and I don't care if people are childish. I'm one of them. So, which is why she changed it. People are childish. On her podcast, she had John, her husband, on, and he was discussing, they just got that out the way. They had already planned on doing the sit down before the CM Punk shit dropped. So it was like, well, since it happened, you might as well get it out the way and talk about it. So he talked about how it was childish and it's stupid and people get tied up into bullshit. But he also revealed that he had the title and he did not have a contract with AEW. Now, Tony Khan, why? And I get you want to be friends, you want to trust, but why on earth would you let somebody hold your title who does not have a contract with the company? That's pretty risky if you ask me personally. Very risky. I mean, he even said it himself. I could have showed up at SummerSlam with the AEW title. Didn't do it because I'm not that type of person. I'm not going to do that, but he could have. And Tony Khan would let him do that. So I want to know, what was Tony thinking? I mean, it was a good call because John Moxley was the person that seems like you could put the company on his back and he'll wave the flag and do what he got to do. But I want to know what's up with that decision. That seems kind of screwy to me. Like, is he? I don't know. I don't understand it. What was the thinking behind it?
Tony Khan is a victim of hoping and wishing. The Nine of Cups, this is your hopes and wishes, your desires, the thing you want. This is also your wishful thinking card. The Ace of Wands, there's his decision, his action. He is one of those, I'm going to do this and we're going to hope for the best. That is not how you run business. You strategize when you run business. Now, mind you, his father made the money. He is just an heir to his father's money. His father's still alive, but that's the reason Tony Khan has so much money. He has not built a business from the ground. And so he just one of those people who has a lot of money to do whatever he wants, and then he does not do smart things. 10 of Cups and 3 of Pentacles, his collaboration. He wants to be friends. He wants harmony. When he started his company, he just bought names. He didn't really know what to do with those names. He just bought names. I want Sting. I want this. I want that. Sting was 89 years old, had a bad back. What are you going to do with Sting? But he needed the name. And so he is a person who is in business to make friends, to be in harmony. He makes very bad decisions, though, with his money. The 4 of Pentacles, which is conservatism, and then the Devil, which is excess and greed, especially when it comes with the 9 of Cups, which is excess and greed in the negative. And so he is a person who will just pay and then see what happens. And I don't think he made smart decisions because I don't think he knows how. Bless his heart. He's a good person, though. Everybody said that. He is a good person. He's just not a businessman. That's why Vince McMahon is where he is, and that's where you are You
call him the spaghetti man. Throw it against the wall and see what sticks. Throw it against the wall and see what sticks. And you're right. But his antics are not going to serve him forever. His business savvy is going to harm him. It's like he gets so many wins, but then he pisses the everything away.
He's fallen ass backwards in some good luck, I will say.
Luck is his name.
Yeah.
I mean, he has no wherewithal about money at all, and eventually he's going to have to. Eventually, he's going to be running away, moving away, going or letting the current just take him to his next spot.
Yikes! I get worry and loss. I got the 9 of Swords and the 5 of Cups here. So I'm thinking at the time, because CM Punk is always injured. So I feel like he was just like, I can put my faith with the Ace of Cups. I could put, my faith in John. He's gonna come through for me, not knowing that he actually will, but since they've been around each other, they have enough of a rapport or whatnot. I'm just gonna put all my water into this one cup and hope that I don't drown. Thankfully, that didn't happen. Thankfully, he was right. He was a good judge of character in this instance. But I wouldn't keep on keeping on. I wouldn't keep testing it personally, because wrestlers, they usually have pretty big egos. I mean,
but John Moxley could not have walked into SummerSlam because Vince McMahon does not want a trash wrestler in his company unless it's Mick Foley. But John Moxley did go to an independent and then do something stupid in the independent show while he was champion of AEW. And so he did walk into somewhere else as your champion. And what if he'd have got hurt over there as your champion? Yeah. So not a good thing to do, to not keep him under contract. I mean, yes, it worked out in the end because you needed him, but don't do it again.
Don't do it again. Speaking of comebacks, Jeff Hardy is back. He came back this week.
Oh, bless his heart.
Yeah. Will he stay clean this time? Because this is the 5th time he has been caught out drinking, driving without suspended license, and just slap on the wrist. So if he ends up killing somebody next time, nobody is to blame but Tony Khan and because I thought initially, I said, oh, okay, he's back. I thought this whole time when he was out, I thought he was at rehab. That's what I thought. I could be wrong. I don't know. But I know when he went for his court date, they were just like, you good, don't do it again. And then that's it, which is ridiculous because any one of us, we would have got the fucking book thrown at us and would be in jail right now. If you seen that footage, it was bad. It was real bad. So will he stay sober now that he's back? I mean, Tony said he's not. Well, I don't know if Tony said this specifically, but there was rumblings how he's not really going to be taking bumps like that because it's a vicious cycle. You bump, you medicate, then switches over to drinking, and
then put him in the ring.
That's what I'm saying. So
Jeff Hardy's name was made off of high flying and bumps. That's how he got who he is.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Well, Jeff Hardy's clean.
I don't think so. And I'm glad you said that too about the bumps, because mind you, this is physical healing. The star is your physical healing, like after illness or breaks or all that type of things. And then there's the emperor. There's something physically wrong with Jeff Hardy, which of course over the years and all of those stunts and the da-da-da-da that happens. But his has always been extreme because he flips off of things. And then gravity is a harsh mistress, as they say. But the first 2 cards I got was the 3 of Swords and the Temperance. Temperance is also healing, but it's sobriety. It's healing after trauma. It's healing after addictions and things of that nature. Then there's the 3 of Swords. And so will he stay clean? I do not think so. The 6 of Cups, nostalgia. We're going back to past things, past behaviors, past memories, past that type of thing. The King of Cups, there's your Jeff Hardy. But I think it's the bumps are the problem. But mind you, he does not need to take future ones. The body still hurts. And so people who have had knee replacements, your knee may be fine while you're walking around, but let it rain one time. And so it's like all that stuff still happens. It still comes back. It still hurts. It still aches. It still creaks. So I think he will still be wrestling with this, with the sobriety. I think it's a lifelong thing for him.
No,
Okay.
I can't even speak to his sobriety because he's not sober.
Mm.
Um, he's not sober now, and he is. You are right, absolutely right. He has an illness that is about to show itself. He's gonna be, and I'm just saying this because it happens far too often. This man is gonna die young.
Oof. Yeah, especially in wrestling, man.
Well, he's gonna die young for all the other crap that he's done to his body. He's gonna be unfortunate. I hate to say it, but he's gonna be a statistic, a wrestling statistic, like some of the other ones, walking out of a hotel and just fall down dead. Unfortunately, what that's what I see for him.
Damn. Well, I guess I'll be the sunshine out of the group.
Come on, give me some good news. Come on.
So we start off strong, right? We start off with the strength card. I think he's gonna start off good, but I think he's gonna fall back with this 5 of Cups. I think he's gonna end up falling back into it. But for the last card, I do have the 6 of Wands, the victory card. So with maybe this is more of like word of advice. He needs help. He needs more people around him helping him with this more so than ever before.
He
And
needs to
I'll
help
just,
himself. It is
yeah,
not other people can't fix him. This is him
no, that's
fixing
true.
himself. This is all of everything that this hardy person is going through is self-imposed. He did this to himself.
Yeah,
Nobody is responsible for him. Nobody can change him. He's and what you see on the surface is just that. What is happening in his interpersonal life is so much more tragic. I mean, I'm sorry, it's not just the entertainment, of the wrestling, but
the entertainment
what
purpose is
is
on
happening in
it.
his actual life is terrible. He
Yeah,
is not well. He is not mentally healthy. And he's got a lot of things working against him.
and here's the
So
thing, Tanya. I agree with. We all know it has to come from within, but I think what this card is saying, like he needs to actually go to a facility or to a rehab or be locked up somewhere and stay there with
So
people.
here's how I think.
Yeah.
Like you're both right.
Okay.
Tarot lesson time. The Temperance card is the card of sobriety. So this is the card you use for healing after trauma, even PTSD, even, but it's a sobriety thing too.
Mm-hmm.
And you're right that he could probably have some short-term victory, go to a facility, get clean. But this here is the road that you have to take to success. It's very long and it's very hard. It's very arduous. You have to put a lot of effort into it. And the hard thing or the worst thing about sobriety, good thing is you're clean, but the worst thing is you still exist on a planet with your vices.
Mm-hmm.
And so just because you stop drinking or you stop smoking or you stop whatever, that doesn't mean the drugs and the alcohol left the earth. You're still here with it. His body still hurts. So he relapses. He's been in rehab before.
Yes, he has.
And so he's still fighting this because it's a lifelong thing. And this is why I think he can get some help, because Matt and everybody else will be around him and say, because he's got a good family as far as support goes. So they'll come and say, go get yourself some help, Jeff. And then he'll go get himself some help. And then one dark night, there he is again, driving down the street at 4 miles an hour, getting pulled over. And so he just may have a bunch of repeating events, probably.
Yeah.
Bless his heart, though. He's such a good person, I think.
He is. Everybody loves Matt Hart. I mean, Matt and Jeff, but apparently Jeff was he has a black card or something now. He was he was welcomed in. You didn't hear about this, Johnny, about how Jeff Hardy has a residential black card because a long time ago on SmackDown, this was probably like 2001 or something like that. Vince had brought like all the black entertainers for a fucking SmackDown, and like Jeff Hardy was there, like just getting it. And, like Jagged Edge was there, and like fucking like
I can believe because he has his own band and all that. Well, he had to cook out.
So yeah, we pray, we wish Jeff Hardy the best, of course. And Matt was talking about how he went down that road, and if it wasn't for his wife, who he met, Rebby, he credits her for saving his life from going down the same road. And I think Jeff is married. I'm not sure. I know he has 2 daughters or whatnot. But I don't know. That's just speak to, like, sometimes the right person can give you the kick in the butt that you may need, but you still have to take that advice. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
these guys have been around for like ever. Here, I got this. There's a whole thing. Story of CM Punk versus Jeff Hardy, The Bash 2009.
Jeff Hardy actually got, I think, what was he, 17? So he was underage when they started, and they lied about
like what, the 90s, 80s, 90s? Yeah, they've been around for a
long
time. Real long time. So we're whittling down to the last couple of questions here because we already been on here for an hour and a half, and I could keep going because it's so much stuff. But I couldn't end it without this big thing that apparently has happened. Vicky Guerrero, the Vicky Guerrero situation where her daughter has come out. Now, this is Vicky Guerrero married Eddie Guerrero, the late wrestler who died in the 2000s, wrestling legend. Her daughter has come out and said that her mother's husband sexually assaulted her on the Chris Jericho cruise that happened a few years ago. Now, apparently they didn't have the best relationship anyway, but how Vicky came out to these allegations basically saying, "We done all this stuff for you," basically said, it sounded like a bribe to me. It didn't help the situation, but we all this stuff, all the money and stuff we get given you, and this is how you treat us, and da 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 da. Yes, so they're beefing. More members in the family has come out to support the daughter because they also said that something happened. Now, it wasn't, forced entry. It didn't go that far, but there was inappropriate touching, and it was assault that happened. That not just her daughter is alleging, but her other daughters are also alleging. People in the family I was there, this happened. So it's getting real messy. Now Vicky Guerrero has come out and said that she's going to sue. She's going to sue her daughter, saying that she's lying.
What a terrible mother.
So just saying, Eddie is probably rolling over in his grave as we speak. So what I want to know is what's happening? What's going on in this situation?
So I had 2 cards that fly out, both of them 2 of Pentacles and Page of Pentacles. So this is some financial things happening. So I was trying not to be influenced because this just happened to Ricky Martin. And Ricky Martin's nephew said that he touched him too. And then it just comes out that, Ricky Martin's nephew actually just wants money. He said Ricky Martin promised it to him and then he didn't give it to him. So
yeah,
people do lie, but let's see.
Is it true?
What I got.
What you got, Tanya?
Well, the first thing I got the Hermit. This is going to illuminate some stuff that has been going on. And this is not just one issue, and that's what's going to come out. This is not one time that this happened. This is the time that she's like, nah, this ain't going to happen no more. We got this moving on. But this is the mother, because this whole thing is the intertwined. The mother deciding to stand up for the one who's after the money is mama. She wants to keep the money there. Not the money. She wants to keep let me say this right. Stay silent. Keep your mouth shut. Don't you put our business out in the street. I am going to punish you, my child. I am going to punish you for telling what is going on here. You basically, it didn't hurt you. You should shut up and just deal with it. Take this and just go on. He won't touch you no more. The mother is a horrible person, and this is the man is the man who is the at the center of this. Oh, there's a lot of anxiety for him, because what's going to come out about him is about how liberal he is with his hands, and that's what it mainly is. He's a grabber, he's a toucher, he's a rubber. He likes to put his hands on people's knees and thighs, and he likes to grab behinds. So he's worried because he knows that once this happens, there's going to be so many more. It's not just who's in the family. It's going to be the rally of support that this daughter is going to get from the other women, young ladies who are going to come out and say, yeah, he did it to me too. Yeah, he's handsy. And people know this about him. He likes a patter, a toucher, a rubber. And that's all I got to say, because I'm angry. And the mother is a horrible person. And yeah, she's going to sue her, and all of their dirty laundry is going to come out.
You can, for a picture, Tanya, if you want to look up Vicky Guerrero, you can. That story will probably pop up as well. What do you have, Johnny?
So I didn't get a man in the read initially. So I just, because this is not centered, this reading anyway is not centered on him. So I asked separately, did he assault her? And then I get the 7 of Swords, the Ace of Cups, and the 10 of Pentacles. So that family tree. So I get, yes, there is a sneakiness, that type of thing here. This is talking about the 2 of Wands and the Page of, or the 2 of Pentacles and the Page of Pentacles. There is a juggling and an imbalance when it comes to an agreement. I think they had an agreement for her not to say something. And then so she's using that almost blackmail, if you will, which I, in this case, I fully support. But I'm not to support crimes, but in this case, because she was touched, I do believe, with the 7 of Swords and the Ace of Cups. And then the mother is here with the Empress and the 7 of Pentacles. She figures it's an investment. This has nothing to do with love. I don't love my daughter and that type of thing. This is business. You keep your mouth shut, and then we will keep paying you this money. And I think maybe there is some sort of late payment or some sort of, we're trying to move on from this. Chariot and 6 of Swords, they're trying to move on from not paying her, and then she blows the whistle, and now she's angry. And so I think with the Chariot and the 6 of Swords, they're trying to move on from this agreement that they had because they don't want to keep paying you forever. And then there's the daughter here in the end with the Knight of Wands. I think she will take control of the situation as far as a lawsuit goes. I think that's null and void. I don't think she's going to sue her or can sue her or will win if she does sue her. But I believe that she basically had them over a barrel because they assaulted her, or she did, or not she. I think that's Freudian slip. the new husband did, and then Vicky, of course, takes the side of the husband and says, well, don't say anything.
Damn.
Mother of the Year.
Man.
I didn't know that story.
Yeah, that. And here's the thing, Johnny. What I think is crazy is that I can see why you don't know that story, because a lot of the usual wrestling news outlets aren't reporting on it, which is very interesting. They're not. And I'm like, why isn't it? Because this is a big story. Now, yes, that looks like her daughter.
That's the daughter, and the face and the Instagram post from the mother is terrible.
Yes, bad.
Instagram post is terrible.
It's bad, isn't it?
Is she still an employee of WWE?
No, she was working for AEW, but here's the thing. Her contract was up in July. But since this story has come up, they took her off the roster page.
Yeah, I bet so.
I mean,
they heard about it, but nobody's reporting.
I mean, the mother even talks about her mental health issues on there. Oh, I tried to take her to counseling, but she said no. It's like, Oh my God, what a horrible.
Gotta
Oh.
paint her as the problem.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah, and how we got you this and we took care of you for that. Like, oh, you should have shut your mouth. We
Mm-hmm.
gave you the money. Why are you talking about this now? So now I'm about to sue you, which is not going to go very well. That I see in my cards, because it's pointing up. It's just going to make it look worse. Even worse than that post, because that post was wild anyway. And then she had deactivated her Instagram. And then now she reactivated it to say, I'm suing the fuck out of you. And and that's where we leave off. But I got the 3 of Wands here, starting off, making plans, setting forth, and then the 7 of Wands, defending yourself. So yeah, this isn't just gonna stop, I think, at this little civil suit. I'm gonna sue you so you can shut up. No, I think this fighting is going to continue. Not only that, but I see the 6 of Cups. There's the 6 of Cups, the child, the innocent, the past. So this has happened before. And it's probably with the 3 of Cups happened at parties, which makes sense because with the Jericho cruise, that's like everybody's, inebriated, stuff is flowing, people are partying. It's a lot of commotion, and you can get away with a lot of shit when there's a lot of people in commotion there at parties. Then I have the 10 of Pentacles, big business, all that money shows up, and then up under it is the Justice card here. So head and heart, mind. So yeah, it's not going to work out the way I think Vicky thinks it's going to work out at all. It's just going to open up a bigger can of worms. And like she said she was already out the door in July of AEW, but they sure took her ass off that roster page real quick. You might not know about it, but AEW knows about it. And they took her ass down. Too sweet. Just terrible. I mean, even with her half sister, like it's crazy because her half sister is taking up more for her than her full-blooded sister is, which is wild. Now, her full-blooded sister basically says something happened, but my sister is fucking a pain in my ass. Basically, like, oh, I'm tired of these moves. Like, she was a bitch to me. I tried to help. I tried to do this. But you still said something happened. Mm-hmm. But my sister's still a bitch, and we tried to help her, and I can't help her. So whatever. I'm done. I'm washing my hands of this. Meanwhile, her half sister basically came out and said, I support her. It happened. I'm behind my sister. Whatever y'all got to say about her is bullshit, and I stand behind her regardless. So I think that's also interesting that your half sister is taking up more for you than your full-blooded sister. That's.
I mean, but look at her own full mama is suing her.
Yeah, poison.
I mean, the fruit don't fall far from this tree. Money talks. Bullshit runs in marathons.
Sure do.
That's messed up. So the last question I'm gonna end with is the status of wrestling. I always like to do a wrestling status, wrestling checkup for the future. What's the status of wrestling now? And where's it headed? Thank you, Risa. Thanks for stopping by, hanging out for a little bit.
Sorry, I was slacking on my moderating duties.
Oh no, you good?
Well, there is going to be a lot of excitement around WWE, the Hierophant, the person that's been there the longest, that type of thing. Mm-hmm. But the King of Wands, so would be the wrestlers and the lovers card here too. So there's going to be some new fighters or some new attention, that type of thing being drawn in. The Hermit and the Temperance, though, there is going to be a lot of cool down period too. So after this initial excitement, there will be a sort of a coasting to where it's going to be very difficult to attract new viewers. So I think you may have an initial excitement to where it's kind of like people when there's a premiere of a show and they say 90 million people watched because they wanted to see what it was. That's why. If you get 90 million people 3 weeks from now, then you got something good. But if you get 90 million on your first show, it means nothing. Then your second show, you got 10. That means you lost 80 because then nobody give a shit after that. So there's some initial excitement here, but it cools down a lot. It doesn't completely go away, but it cools down a lot. But as far as wrestling goes, it's going to coast, I think, but it's not growing, which is a problem.
What you got, Tanya?
What I got is that some things are coming to an end. There's just a lot of movement trying to rebrand, trying to make everything to keep things relevant. I think there's gonna be a lot of change, well, a lot of change, a lot of movement, but I think the whole thing, getting the population, getting the viewership to grow, because that's what all of this is about. Getting more butts in the seats, more eyes on the screen. That's what their constant fight is, and that's what they're going to be fighting the whole time. So what I see is some more gimmicks gonna be coming out, more gimmicks to try to make money, build excitement, to get people watching, get people excited. It's gonna be emotional for the actual people involved, because it's their lives that are being played with. But I mean, these corporations, I mean, I hate to say, I don't think they're very human centric. It's all about the money, and it's all about the vision. But they will fight for their relevance. It's not going to be, I think both of them have cooled down. UFC has cooled as well as wrestling has cooled. People just, I don't know. I don't watch TV, so I'm kind of talking out my ass. So, but it just seems like it'll go forward, but I just see gimmicks. I see them just trying, again, spaghetti, throwing stuff against the wall, see what sticks, see what builds excitement. But I don't see a whole lot of real success, unfortunately. But I don't see it going away either. Like Johnny said, that's coasting. It's there, not really doing much, but it's there. But they're gonna, be noisy and just trying to fight, clawing to stay relevant. Relevance is the word. That's what's resonating. Relevance.
Yeah. I think that would have to do a lot with that UFC merger too, trying to stay relevant in the ethos, because I got the Moon. So I see with the Moon and the full cards, I got all major arcana cards. So there's a lot of big moves that's going on behind the scenes. I think they're going to be taking a lot of risks with the product that's going on that we have no idea about. I don't even know if we'll connect with it for real, but they're going to be trying shit like you two said. They're going to be just throwing stuff at walls, because then you got the Empress. So this is the growth, but I think this growth doesn't speak to the viewers. I think it speaks to the business of WWE trying to acquire more things, AEW trying to put out more shows. I heard that they're, with them and Warner Discovery, they want to put out a new Saturday show. Apparently they just had the AEW All Access, which is like a reality show behind the scenes. They just released that a couple of weeks ago. So I think, like, there's a lot of wrestling around, but as far as interest in it, it's like one step after another. Like, you guys keep throwing stuff at walls and trying to do this and that and the third, but you can't get that one right, which is just good stories that make sense, like to interest people. Like what happened with at WrestleMania after Cody lost, people didn't give a shit. Like, they said across all of the wrestling media, wrestling news, wrestling, just wrestling in general, the viewership was down after WrestleMania because, and especially after that first Raw, because it was terrible. It's not like people, you know, you have people that come back who don't usually watch wrestling throughout the year, but they'll watch WrestleMania to see what's going on. Is there anything new? Is there any, you know, it's been a while since I watched it. So there's people who want to watch wrestling. There's interest in it, but it's just, can you captivate that audience? And I think on both sides, they failed to do that. I mean, Impact, like I said, allegedly is doing good, but nobody watches the shit. Which it's sad because it's had so many iterations with Impact. I think people have like, they're gun shy. They have commitment issues because it used to be TNA, and then a lot of people used to, and I was one of them. I used to watch TNA back in the day. And then Hulk Hogan came in and fucked everything up.
Because and my whole thing with wrestling is, where are the stars? Where's the new Rock? Where's the new Austin? Where's the new Taker? Where's the new Kane? Where's the new John Cena? You don't have that. You have Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes. That's it. And then when you elevated Sammy, then you put him in a tag team. And so it's, who am I watching? Why do I need to watch this? For Roman Reigns, I don't care about Roman Reigns, me personally. So why do I don't want to watch this? I watched wrestling. I couldn't miss it when it first came on, because every single week, the first person you saw was The Rock. He was about to say some slick shit. It was going to be funny, and I wanted to see it. And then at the 9 o'clock hour, he came back on, so I watched it again. So I stayed the entire time until I saw him again, that type of thing. And then I liked The Rock, and then I liked gimmicks, so I liked Kane, I liked Taker. I don't care about Cody Rhodes. I like Cody Rhodes as a person, but I don't really want to watch a Cody Rhodes match, but I would. I don't care about Roman Reigns. It's just he's nice to look at, but he's very vanilla to me. Like, there's nothing about him that says superstar to me. But I mean, that's who they got to ride with. I was never a John Cena fan, but he kept the doors open. So I mean,
you can't say that about Roman Reigns. Vince will kill you.
Literally, I'll bet.
How dare you?
Because he pushed him down everybody's throat. He said, this is going to be the new star, period. And he is. Vince will push you if he likes you.
Yeah. But the road that we had to get here, because I'm going to say this, I think Roman is great now. He's phenomenal now. And that's because he wasn't shoehorned into this vanilla good guy box that Vince McMahon was trying to. Everybody was like, we don't want to see him like that. Boo!
See, I haven't seen modern Roman. I only seen him in the beginning. Maybe that's why.
That's the thing. Modern Roman is good. He deserves, I'm gonna say this, he deserves all the accolades he's getting. Okay. I can completely understand why Vince McMahon chose him as the guy, because not only is he good looking, you know, he's better in that heel type role. He's a heel now, finally. Mm-hmm. Since he got the championship a few years ago, he's fine. But who's that?
That's Cody.
Is that
Cody? Oh yeah, that's Cody. Yeah, Cody. But that whole, what was it, 6+ years that we had to suffer? 6+ years that we had to get suffering succotash, son, that you had to roll this man out here saying these horrible trash baby lines, and he did it. He was like, I'll give him credit. You know, everybody was like, fuck this. But Roman knew he was the guy. He was Vince's guy. And finally, he got to the point to tell Vince, like, this is not working. Let me be a heel. Let me hook up with Paul Heyman. Let's get this bloodline stories. Let's get the Usos in here, and let's create a magic. And that's what they've done. Because the only thing
to make a star.
Yeah, the only thing I've cared about was the bloodline storyline, and that's fucking dead. And Cody was supposed to win. It was supposed to end with Cody, and then we were going to do the next chapter. And that's not to say Roman wouldn't be prominent. Still, it could be him fighting to get his stuff back. But you got to end the book to create another one. And they don't want to do it. It's just Roman is the guy. And I'm glad that, you know, he took them damn gray contacts out and was like, I'm not doing this shit. I'm becoming heel. I'm taking these contacts out. And we about to ride out.
This guy?
That's Roman, yes.
Roman?
He looks, everybody says him. I used to get him confused with Jason Momoa when he first came out, because Jason Momoa used to be on this show called.
This dude is a 2-piece and a biscuit.
I told you. That's Vince knew.
Oh, dang.
And they tried to make him pretty in the pretty baby face. It's like, you don't even have to try. Just let the man grow his hair out and he's got it. He's part of the Samoan family. They all look that way. So it's like,
that's why he won. That's why he's being promoted. It's his look.
Yeah. Vince is obsessed with looks. Yes.
Oh God, he is,
because he's not short either, so he looks like a full-grown man. So Vince likes that type of thing.
Oh man, yeah. Vince probably trying to crawl in the sack right behind him.
Yeah, I know, right?
My God, he's beautiful.
Yeah. They I used to get him confused with Jason Momoa, because Jason Momoa used to be on this show called The Game. They used to have Tia Mari in it. And I used to get them. I'm like, Roman Reigns? No, it's not the same person. It's not. They're both Samoan, so it makes sense. But no, it's not. It's not the same person. But yes, and The Rock is his cousin. It's from the same family.
Well, I mean, if that's the thing that they're trying to elevate this guy, I mean, that's just straight sex appeal.
Well,
but Tanya, he's been elevated. That's the thing. Yeah. That's not the
problem. Is he's the only one up there.
I have never seen this man before, and I'm gonna tell you, I'm having a physical reaction just from seeing his picture.
He's gonna be looking up Roman Reigns matches and clips when we get off here.
But I'm saying, for all of the women like me who ain't never looked at wrestling since the 80s, you see this hunka burning love, you might turn the TV on for 5 seconds. Mm-hmm. The other kid, that Cody, I would not look twice at him.
Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing with Cody, though. Here's the thing with Cody. I mean, he's married now, but Cody, you at least would have a shot, all right? Because didn't you know that Cody Rhodes ended racism when he had his biracial baby? All right,
He tried way too hard. Bless his heart. He was trying to be.
He ended racism, not an actual biracial individual.
No, he's Samoan, isn't he?
He's Samoan.
He's Samoan. That's different.
Well, Cody Rhodes has a black wife, and they had
Cody Rhodes
mixed race baby, and so he said he ended racism.
That shit was hilarious, and they killed him for that. I'm like, why are you killing? He mean well, bless his heart. He was just saying how back in the day this couldn't have happened. You know, we would have been on.
He meant it to sound like I got a black wife, and we're the future of what America looks like, and that didn't come out the way he meant it. So
he meant it. I knew how he meant it. Bless his heart, but people just went off. They got all mad about it, and now it's just. I just say the joke because the joke is funny. Cody single-handedly ended racism with his baby. Thank you, Cody. And they have memes of that boy in the civil rights movement. Like they meme his face where they putting him on faces like he was in
the he's sweet. He didn't think about it. I mean, he did think about it, but he just thought wrong. He meant
it too. He know it too because they asked him about it afterwards. He's like, yeah, I don't think. I don't think that was the best.
Don't do it again. That's all. Don't do it again. Theme of the night. Don't do it again.
And the thing too, you know, when Cody was a part of AEW and they had their own reality TV show, right? And it didn't do them no favors because Brandy didn't particularly look nice. I was like, who's shooting this? Is this? Because to me, when they were at WWE, because Brandon used to be an announcer. So when they were at WWE, they had these clips that they would show of them together and stuff like that, and them around the house and little vlogs and stuff. And they were cute. Like they came off really well when they were doing the shit. But in that Roads to the Top shit, I was like, ooh, I do not like them. and Brandy in particular. And it don't seem like Cody's sister much liked her either. I'm like, there's some beef there. I don't know what that's about, but damn.
I didn't do him no favors. But
No
reality TV doesn't, though. Because the only way I get you to watch it again is if somebody calling each other bitches and throwing drinks in their faces or something like that. So if you ain't got no drama going on, then what are we watching this for? I can watch the Hallmark Channel if I just want to see people get along.
That's why they tried to make up some drama between Jade and what's their name, Red Velvet.
Yeah, that was about as fake as a $3 bill too.
Well, I think we're going to end it at there because we're at 2 hours and I don't want to keep y'all for too long. I didn't already held y'all hostage, so.
It's lunchtime here. I got up extra early. I'm like 1 o'clock. That's 10 o'clock. I don't wake up till noon, so.
Thank you.
I'm starving. I ain't ate nothing. I didn't have a cup of juice.
So I heart y'all. Thank y'all for talking about wrestling with me and coming to my humble abode. I appreciate y'all. Thank you, everybody who tuned in, and thank you for anybody who will tune in on the replay. Appreciate you. This has been Wrestling Roundup, and I'll see y'all eventually, one of these days, when something good happens. I'll be back. We'll be back. And of course, I will ask you guys to come with me again because I can't do this alone. It's no fun doing it on my own, talking about this shit. So I appreciate y'all. Thank you. And we'll see y'all in the next one. Bye. Peace out.
Oh my.